Here's a fun Texas statistic nobody likes. Most of our lawmakers are chosen by a very tiny minority of voters, and everyone else still complains as if they actually showed up to vote. The most dangerous lie in Texas politics is eligible voters saying, "My vote doesn't matter," because the system absolutely depends on you believing that. We're told Texas is a beacon of freedom, independent, rugged, politically awake. But here's the ugly truth. Most Texans don't participate in democracy anymore. They consume it. They rage scroll it. They meme it. They argue about it at the bar. They complain like shareholders, vote like it's optional, and act shocked when the boardroom ignores them. And then election day shows up, and suddenly democracy gets treated like jury duty, something to dodge. So let's pull back the curtain on this scam. On the right, freedom has been reduced to performative outrage. Pronouns, bathrooms, library panic buttons, culture war mad libs. No structural reform, no accountability, no discussion of term limits or talking about corruption unless that corruption is about the other party. Just culture war theater with a merch table and fundraising emails. On the left, civic engagement has become a lifestyle brand. Hashtags instead of turnouts, yard signs instead of candidates, virtue signaling, without actually showing up to vote in the primaries, running viable candidates, or challenging incumbents. Different costumes, same results. Incumbents stay comfy. So should I even bother running? Well, the case for running is because apathy is the final victory of the establishment. Because democracy only works if participation is expected, not optional. And every alternate party candidate reminds both the voters and the system that consent isn't automatic, and that they are allowed to demand better. And the case against running is because too many voters want representation without the responsibility of actually looking at the candidates. They want change without the inconvenience of voting. They want reform as long as someone else does the work. Here's the part that should really piss you off. The majority of Texans aren't even represented, and they don't realize it. Not in ideology, not economically, not culturally, not in priorities, not even in lived reality. They're governed by incumbents elected in low turnout primaries, especially in midterm years, protected by ballot rules favoring the establishment parties, and insulated by voter exhaustion. That's not a glitch. That's the business model, because non-voters don't make demands. They don't file records requests. They don't primary anyone. They don't threaten power. People ask me all the time, if voters don't care, why run? I think a better question is, what if the voters don't care because the system has trained them not to? Train them to think that their voice is irrelevant unless they voice establishment party ideas. Train them to believe that outrage is a confirmation of participation. Train them to sit it out quietly while power calcifies. Their apathy isn't harmless. It's not neutral. It's been weaponized against them. Running as a libertarian or any alternate party gets mocked as a wasted vote. But the real waste is silence. The real surrender is apathy. The real illusion is thinking that freedom survives without participation. The real con is being told that you're free while you're also politically irrelevant. That's why I'm running, and that's why you should be pissed off. So be honest, do Texans still want representation anymore, or just someone to yell at on TV? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share this with someone who still thinks voting doesn't matter.